Imagine building a company so massive, so hyped, that it's suddenly worth $47 billion. More than Ford, Hilton, or even Twitter at the time. Now imagine that same company collapsing almost overnight. No war, no fraud, no massive scandal, just reality catching up. This isn't a story about numbers. This is a story about charisma versus common sense. About billion-dollar dreams built on shaky foundation and a CEO who believed he could bend the rules of business and maybe even the universe. He said he wanted to elevate the world's consciousness. Investors called him a genius. Tech media called WeWork the future of work. But behind the kombucha taps and open-floor offices, something was seriously wrong. This is the unbelievable true story of how a shared office space startup became the biggest startup disaster of the decade, and how Adam Neumann, the barefoot, tequila-sipping prophet of Silicon Valley, convinced the world to buy in before it all fell apart. WeWork was once hailed as the future of work, valued at $47 billion, with sleek co-working spaces across the globe, and a charismatic CEO who dressed like a tech rock star. But behind the glass walls and kombucha taps, the foundation was already crumbling. This is the story of how a shared office space startup became one of the most dramatic implosions in business history, and what we can all learn from it. Humble beginnings. WeWork started in 2010. Founded by Adam Neumann and Miguel McKelvey in New York City. Their idea was simple: lease large office spaces, renovate them with cool designs, and rent them out as flexible co-working hubs. Neumann wasn't just selling desks, he was selling a lifestyle, a community, a movement. He dreamed big. He said WeWork wasn't a real estate company, but a tech company, elevating the world's consciousness. The cult of Adam Neumann. Adam was a visionary, charismatic, and confident, maybe too confident. He pitched investors with bold ideas and spiritual talk. He once claimed he could become the world's first trillionaire. He turned WeWork into a textile startup, even though it operated in real estate. That meant burning cash fast to grow fast, all in the hopes of a massive IPO payoff. Venture capitalists loved it, especially SoftBank's Masayoshi Son, who gave Neumann billions, telling him to think bigger. In 5 minutes, Son reportedly decided to invest $4.4 billion in WeWork. Hypergrowth and hype. By 2018, WeWork was in 111 cities and claimed to be the fastest-growing lessee of office space in the world. They launched WeLive, shared apartments, WeGrow, a private school, and even tried to create their own currency. The company burned $2 billion per year, but investors didn't care. The valuation skyrocketed to $47 billion. Meanwhile, Neumann was living large, flying in private jets, trademarking the word we, and selling it back to WeWork for $5.9 million, buying properties and renting them to his own company. The IPO that killed the dream. In 2019, WeWork filed for an IPO. That's when the world saw the truth. The documents revealed $1.6 billion in losses in 2018 alone. 2. Conflicts of interest involving Neumann. A confusing business model with no clear path to profitability. The media tore it apart. Investors panicked. The IPO was pulled. Neumann stepped down. WeWork went from being worth $47 billion to almost nothing in just 6 weeks. Aftermath: SoftBank took over and tried to stabilize the business. Neumann walked away with over $1 billion despite the disaster. WeWork shrank, offices closed, thousands were laid off. And in 2023, WeWork finally filed for bankruptcy. Final chapter: Lessons from the collapse. So what went wrong? 1. It wasn't a tech company. It was a real estate company pretending to be one. 2. The business model was unsustainable. Long-term leases with short-term clients. 3. Investors fell for charisma over fundamentals. 4. Growth without profit is a ticking time bomb. WeWork became a cautionary tale, a symbol of startup excess, of how hype and hubris can blind the smartest investors. But at its core, WeWork had a powerful idea: community, flexibility, creativity. It just needed a better foundation. And in a world of remote work and shifting office culture, maybe someone will get it right next time.